Welcome to the Magic Tavern. What do you bring to the table?
But yeah, we can start getting into it. If you guys aren't familiar, this is D&D Cold Brew. Every Saturday night we sit and we talk something from D&D. Lately we've been going through all of the classes and we're doing alphabetical order, except for Artificers. We skipped that one, but yeah. So no, we skipped Artificer. We've done Barbarians, Bards, Clerics last week, and now we're up to Druids. So who doesn't love a good Druid? The
Yeah, this
protectors
is
of nature.
This is one of those classes that gets skipped a lot of times because it's not as flashy as the bard or as strong as the barbarian.
Yeah.
I'd rather play a druid than a bard.
I don't.
100%.
I like the flavor and the versatility, but this was an interesting study.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to do. I'm not. No. Are you still doing Moonlight as a cleric?
Yes, I've almost got that one done. I'm gonna put it
okay.
up. He's interesting.
I was going to suggest maybe some rogue in that because he does have a little bit of roguish tendencies.
He definitely could be in as a rogue.
It might be a side or something, you know.
Yeah,
that
you could definitely do that. That would be his random bullshit go time. Where he just starts throwing shit.
I would say he's like Marvel's Batman, only better, but it's not really better. It's just different. It's flavored different.
No, it's better.
No, it's better. No, it's not better. It's
the views expressed.
It's good
by the panda.
Look, I just
Magic Tavern.
I have a lot of opinions on a lot of different characters, and
No.
Batman is very much one of them.
You don't say.
Really?
We've never noticed that you have a lot of opinions.
Eat ass.
Most of which are terrible, but
well, yeah,
we let you go.
Well,
but I accept them.
Anyway, I'm looking at doing possibly because I found a few builds already out there. Poison Ivy as a druid.
Yeah, absolutely. Poison Ivy would be a great one to do as a druid.
I'll mention more about that. Yeah.
She's the obvious. Yeah, she's the obvious front runner. I'm tempted to do like Nissa strikes me as a druid, the whole protector of nature, you know, that whole thing.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But see, a lot of these people have mixes in them, right? Because I could see Nissa being like a druid ranger kind of mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can deal with that later.
Absolutely. I just wanted to mention it.
Hello, Glaco Nerd. Howdy ho. How are you?
Hi.
Let's see here.
We're doing
Druids. Let me pull this. Where's my big book of everything at? It's got to be here. Oh, there it is. Don't mind me. I'm prepared. You're the one that's not prepared.
You are not prepared for what comes next.
There's all the cards I bought this morning at Vintage Stock.
Oh.
I got a bunch of like 50-cent singles.
Heck yeah.
I almost went yesterday, but the timing was wrong. I'm getting that itch again. Gotta look at some old cards.
Man, they've got 3 boxes over there now.
Which one? The
one on 71st in Memorial.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The big one.
Getting ready to head over to Broken Arrow, but it sounds like I need to go there first. Anyway.
So let's pull out the big book of everything, otherwise known as the Player's Handbook.
Absolutely.
Now let's go look at some druids. Nope, there they are. Okay, so
I've
druids.
got some stories about some druids, man.
Yeah,
I've got some stories about druids.
The druids start off with the same stuff as always. It says, see, holding high a gnarled staff, wreathed with holly, an elf summons the fury of the storm and calls down explosive bolts of lightning to smite the torch-carrying orcs who threaten her forest. Like we talked about, they're the protectors of nature. They love animals, which goes with their ability. They tend to harness their spells, tend to harness nature in some way, whether it be changing the terrain or summoning, like it said there, lightning, summoning the fury of the storm, all that good stuff. Um, see, crouching out of sight in a high tree branch in the form of a leopard, a human peers out of the jungle at a strange construction of a temple of evil elemental air, keeping a close eye on the cultist activities. Yeah, so anything that goes against nature, like an evil air elemental, which would obviously affect your natural stuff there. They're not gonna like anything that destroys nature. But they're more than just you know, tree huggers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're serious about this, buddy.
Oh, they definitely are. Let's see. It says one of the things it talks about in here that I thought was interesting is like when you're creating a druid, um, consider why your character has such a close bond to nature. Perhaps your character lives in a society where the old faith still thrives, or was raised by a druid after being abandoned in the depths of a forest. Perhaps your character has a dramatic encounter with the spirit of nature, coming face to face with a giant eagle or dire wolf and surviving the experience. So it's the same with any character. That backstory really matters. You got to think about what makes your character tick, because in honesty, that's what makes any character worth playing, is more of the backstory and their motivations as opposed to their actual die rolls and abilities. Because you can work anything into a story when it comes to die rolls. Every failure, it doesn't necessarily mean that you missed, or I mean, it's like creatures with an AC of 30. Like, just because you missed the attack roll doesn't mean you didn't hit them. It just didn't hurt them, or maybe there's a reason you're missing. But
Yeah.
if you know your character's reasons and their backstory, it helps to work all that in and make the character feel more rounded out and whole to me, as opposed to getting sad when your dice has to go to dice jail because it won't let you roll higher than a 10
Which happens a lot to you, doesn't
all the time.
it?
You need a dice therapist.
I do. Yeah, I definitely do. Either that or I need somebody to buy me some loaded dice so I can do good.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm the one that needs that. If you haven't noticed, every one of my NPCs and big bosses have sucked it up lately, and it's really driving me nuts.
Yeah. Well,
I know
that's the
why
life of the DM.
Yeah, that's why I know why DMs fudge their rolls. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, no, you've almost got to as a DM. Like it makes way too much sense to fudge those rolls as opposed to just going, well, I guess the big bad guy who's the end of all life on your planet missed again.
Oh, look at that. He's a ditz. He can't hit anything.
Yeah. Look, he rolled a
missed
natural one on his saving throw.
Yeah.
I guess
Now
he's
he's your slave for
feeble-minded
life.
now. Yeah. But yeah. Druids, of course, their class features their, what is it, a D8 for their hit dice. It's all intelligence and wisdom based, which makes sense for them, knowing medicine, nature, all that good stuff.
Yo.
Absolutely.
All
There's
works out.
lots of
No, go ahead.
avenues you can take with I'm gonna say clerics, the druids.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of flavor to be had.
there definitely is. There definitely is. But so, did you do an optimized, quote unquote?
I've been doing an optimized thing for every one of these classes.
He has it in front of him.
All right, so let's talk through that. What level do you make these things? Are they all?
I
20?
make them level 20.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I figured.
Fully realized character. Basically.
So let's start with the race you chose for.
So, in light of us doing clerics last week and doing a Furbolg, I really didn't want to make another Furbolg.
Yeah.
So I made a half elf.
Okay.
Which, if you're looking for like a kind of charismatic all-arounder character, half elf is the way to go.
Yeah.
Period. Like, it's just great. But yeah, we went half elf because of the +2 to Constitution and +1 to 2 other stats, and the 2 skills that they give you as well, plus the Fey Ancestry and Dark Vision.
And Dark Vision, of course. Okay, so which well, I guess before we get there, we'll go through some of their abilities. Of course, they are spellcasters to a decent extent. Their spell list is a little limited, like we talked about earlier, all having to do with nature and animals, all that fun stuff. But let's see, at second level, they get one of the biggest abilities they have, and that's the wild shape. I think the thing that irritates me the most with druids and wild shape is that 8th level is the last time you get a bump to
Improvement on
the
it.
CR that you can use, and the
And you
CR
get
is
a
a
whole
1.
CR1.
Like I
Unless
get
you
it,
go the circle of the moon.
sure, but even the
Then it
circle.
can go up to 6.
I mean, that's decent. Like that's good. I could take a 6,
No T-Rex though.
but like a CR of 1/4. Like I guess I get a wolf as the example it gives here.
Yeah.
That's probably about as good as you're gonna get if you're looking damage wise.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what wild shape did yours? I mean, I know they can change it like every time, can't they?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
is it wait, what do you mean by that question?
like, did you the character that you made? Does it have a specific animal it likes to turn into a lot, or did you not really do a background or anything like that? Just the numbers.
Give me.
Well, he usually does a background. I think you missed that one this time, didn't you? I didn't see it.
I gave it a folk hero.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
nice.
For what reasons?
I mean, whenever it comes, you're talking to a min-maxer here, man. It's
Okay.
kind of simple. It's like skills and stuff.
So,
well, that's detailed.
so pretty much you made Johnny Appleseed.
Kind of.
The
In a way.
the folk hero druid that loves nature. Goes around planting apple trees everywhere.
Kind of.
Okay. One of the things with the wild shape that I think is interesting is that you can choose whether it falls to the ground or merges into your new form. So your
Oh yeah, your equipment.
yeah, all your equipment and stuff just kind of comes with you, which is nice.
How many people actually decide, okay, it's just going to drop here, so I have to remember to come back
Yeah,
and get it?
so there's only one reason you would do that, right? And that's for story and for it to be funny or interesting. That to
True.
do that, you've gotta drop all your stuff. I can't think of an actual strategic reason you would ever want that to happen.
Wait, you can make it to where your equipment is worn by it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can be a squirrel that's wearing wood armor.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you want to be that?
that's the one thing I know. I should have known this to begin with. They can't wear any armor or shields that are made of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
no,
cannot
it's
use
gotta
metal
be
weapons.
it's gotta be
it?
all wood. Which from what I saw, I mean, your best weapon choice when it comes to a druid is just using a quarterstaff and using the shillelagh spell.
Yeah, me and BDC were watching a video earlier, and the dude was like, and you take the shillelagh spell to make your quarterstaff useful.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't see it in a video, but I was doing some reading and yeah, that's what I saw. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, so you got all that. What else do they get in first and second level? Because you get the wild shape. You get to choose your circle at second level.
Yep.
Which is interesting. Isn't it third level for most
I think
characters before they get their like
I want to say
archetype
clerics
or whatever?
Clerics get their divine domain at first.
Yeah.
Bards get theirs at third, and I think barbarians get theirs at third too.
Interesting.
So for most of them, it is third.
All right. So before we go through all the circles, which I think there are 7. Is that
Sounds
right?
about right.
I think
That's what
there's
we said
8.
earlier.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8.
Oh yeah, no, there is 7.
No, it is 7. Yeah.
Because there's only 2 in Xanathar's guide.
Yeah. So which one did you go with?
So
We'll start there.
I was really stuck on a couple of them.
Okay.
Because I don't read a lot about druids. I'm more into wizards and sorcerers,
Uh-huh.
or just I'm gonna beat the crap out of you characters. But I was stuck between the Circle of Dreams, the Circle of Stars, and the Circle of the Wildfire.
Okay.
And I eventually went with Dreams.
Okay. So you went with Dreams, which is in the player's handbook, is it? No,
No,
it's
it's in
not.
Xanathar's.
Xanathar. Who doesn't love Xanathar? He's the best. Let's see here. Pull up Xanathar's guide real quick. We can go through that. Dum, dum. I swear Xanathar's guide is the best book. And it's not even my overwhelming love of Xanathar. It's he's
It's a
just
good book.
he's just good. Like there's so much in this book that's good.
I think it's the flavor of everything that it provides.
Yeah, this one and Tasha's are two of my favorite.
I say because in Xanathar's for the Druid, they give you like a treasured item that you have, a guiding aspect, and a mentor.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see. You said the what?
Circle of Dreams.
Circle of Dreams. All right, Druids who are members of the Circle of Dreams hail from regions that have strong ties to the Feywild, which, again, with the Fey ancestry of the half-elf makes sense. Let's see, and its dreamlike realms, the Druids' guardianship of the natural world makes for a natural alliance between them and good aligned Fey. These Druids seek to fill out the world with dreamy wonder. Their magic mends wounds and brings joy to downcast hearts. They gain the features they get is, let's see, Balm of the Summer Court, Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow, Hidden Paths, and Walker in Dreams.
Which, if I'm being honest, Hidden Paths and Walker in Dreams are nothing compared to the other two.
Okay. Because I did not read this one, I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, I was telling him it's very flavorful,
Mhm.
but not very utilistic. Of course, it's going to go one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
So two of them are very utilistic, and two of them are more flavored.
Let's see. Rolls per dice. Target regains number of hit points. Oh, nice.
Yes. So the Balm of the Summer Court, I can literally just be like, "Oh, you're down. Roll 10d6. Add that to your health."
That's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I wish you could do it more than once, but oh well, you can because
it.
it's your hit die. You regain the expended dice when you finish a long rest.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's great. The Hearth of the Moonlight and Shadow. At 6th level, home can be wherever you want, wherever you are. During a short or long rest, you can invoke the shadowy power of the gloaming
Gloaming
court
Court.
to help
this one-
guard your respite.
This one did a lot of flavor from the Feywild between Summer Court and the Gloaming Court.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of mentions. Of course, the Dream Circle of Dreams. Of course.
Yeah. So you
believe-
create a 30-foot radius dome that pretty much protects you.
Sphere,
sure, but if you're on the ground, it's a
Oh, yeah.
dome.
Yeah,
but what if you want to make it in the trees?
Something's trying to burrow
Yeah.
up to you?
That's
It
true.
should protect you also.
It's true.
Now,
no
the
bullets
question
getting in
is-
here.
Is it just? I may have missed something here. Is it just hiding you, or is there actual? Yeah, you get a +5 bonus to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
To
you get a +5
dexterity.
bonus to dexterity, stealth, and wisdom perception checks, and any light from open flames in the sphere, a campfire, torches, or the like, is not visible from outside it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you can sit in the middle of the woods and not have to worry about curious little creatures coming up and
But it
trying
doesn't.
to
It
sleep.
doesn't stop things from coming in.
Well, no. But it keeps you hidden from things
Yeah.
that would want to stalk the light that is permeating their home.
So at
Be
10th
random.
level, you get hidden paths. As a bonus action on your turn, you can teleport up to 60 feet, unoccupied space. You can also use your action to teleport one willing creature. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all of it. So I mean that's cool, but I'm with you. I don't
I would
for
say it.
for a 10th level ability, it's not much.
I would say like it's kind of cool because you can teleport 60 and you can teleport other people 30.
Yeah.
Like it's a cool like protection thing.
Yeah.
You run up to like the fighter that's super low in health and you're just like, get out of here.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really see a use of why you would teleport somebody else.
So Walker in the Dreams at 14th level grants you the ability to travel mentally or physically through the Dreamlands. When you finish a short rest, you can cast one of the following spells without expending a spell slot: Dream, Scrying, or Teleportation Circle. Using Teleportation Circle is special. Rather than opening a portal to a permanent teleportation circle, it opens a portal to the last location where you finished a long rest on your current plane. So, I mean, you can make it like a home base kind of thing.
Yeah, but then the only thing is that you can't take a long rest anywhere other than your base.
This is fair. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know if those first two to me are worth it for what I get at such later levels. And I'm sure there's some really fun, flavorful things you could do to it to make it super cool.
I think Dream would be fun to just screw with the party.
Yeah.
And Scry is fun whenever you're trying to find a certain person.
Well, if you're trying to get in other people's dreams, maybe an enemy or the sort.
Well, yeah, but it has to be whenever you finish that short rest.
Yeah.
So that character has to be
Yeah.
asleep for you to do said dream.
Yeah, and have to be within the vicinity of you or just asleep.
Let me look at the spell
Double
dream
check,
real
'cause
fast.
I don't see any kind of my notes. I don't see any kind of footage given.
Yeah.
Spell dream.
Oh, it's yeah.
Oh.
What?
As long as you know the creature, that's the range on it.
So you just take a chance knowing if they're asleep or not, and try to peek in, and sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't.
Well, if you give them like the
Yeah.
keen mind, they would know what time it was.
Well, you still don't know when they go to sleep. They may have a weird sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about a wizard, yeah, they would stay up later than the usual. But if we're talking about like a normal like city folk,
Mm-hmm.
100%, they're not going to sleep later than 10. Like they got work.
I'm just saying it's
They
there's a
got
bit of
work.
chance. They
That's
got
true.
work.
All right.
But yeah, it would have to be the DM would have to work a little harder making it interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I want to say that you can only use scrying once a day too if they succeed on the save. Yeah. On a successful fave, the target isn't affected and you can't use the spell against it again for another 24 hours. So if you're really trying to find somebody that once a day scry without having to use the spell slot for it would be really useful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's see. What about you, BDC? What's your favorite circle?
That's a good one too, because I didn't think about it a whole lot until I started looking through them. When it comes to power, the first two in there, the Circle of the Land and Circle of the Moon, are really good for being the entry level. Usually, you have a better one coming, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I'm really intrigued with the Circle of Stars and Circle of Wildfire.
Oh, dude.
Circle of Wildfire would definitely be flavorful for our home world of Asheray and the whole Dawn Phoenix thing, because it all kind of connects.
Yeah.
The destruction creation motif, it all just that's what gets my attention, obviously.
Yeah.
You get a familiar, which is a wildfire spirit. You get an enhanced bond and enhances your spells and fire damage. Then you got cauterized flames. It turns the death around you into healing. So someone drops in your vicinity, and you can use the flames from that life to heal others. It's kind of weird.
Or you can use it to damage others.
Yeah. And let's see, that 14th. So if your spirit's within 120 feet, your spirit drops. If you go 0 hit points, your spirit drops instead of you, and you gain back half your hit points.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
interesting.
pretty nice.
It is good.
I think, and it's also kind of like a familiar. Familiars, you can cast your spells through them as a
Yeah.
wizard.
Yeah.
And whenever you get to 6th level with the wildfire, you wait, what is it? Whenever you cast a spell that deals fire damage or restores hit points while your wildfire spirit is summoned, roll a d8 and you gain a bonus equal to the number rolled to 1 damage or healing roll of the spell.
Mm-hmm.
So you get an extra d8 on top of whatever you're doing with that spell.
Yeah. Do a little more damage for you.
And the spell can originate from the wildfire spirit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that one's pretty cool. It could be flavorful and do some interesting things.
Yeah, it gives you some
show.
resilience there at your last, especially when you're going into your last. If you stop at 20, you're going through your last 6 levels.
Yeah.
You're going to be in some dangerous places. So dropping to 0 and not dropping, dropping to 0 and going to half back is a pretty good bounce back.
No, it's really, really helpful. Trust me, I know.
What if you can do that? What if you can do that and be a revenant? And you'd have
You could do it
they
twice.
kind of contradict each other. Yeah, I don't know. They'd probably contradict each other.
It would be interesting. I think you're right. I think they would definitely.
I was
counteract
thinking
each
half
other.
orc, but
not stack. I don't think. What'd you say, Panda?
half orc. Half orcs get that ability too.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They do.
I say whenever they go down once, they can come back.
I don't think they stack. It's like you'd have to choose one. It'd be redundant and play dumb.
Well, at that point, you've just got to be like, which one takes priority at that point?
Well, if the one the orc or the revenant gets is better, you just wouldn't take this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be a druid even, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to weigh them out.
Orc druid would be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I believe that orc shamans would be.
That's true. Probably.
I say, like, it's
Yeah.
got to be either a druid or some kind of sorcerer or
Mhm.
cleric, maybe.
Yeah.
A magical creature. You can call it whatever you want.
Yep, a mythological creature. Well, I guess that only leaves me. My favorite circle is probably not the best circle, but it is to me the most flavorful circle. And that's the circle of spores. It's the one I chose
Yep.
for my druid. I love it.
Yeah.
I like the darker side of things, and this one just fits in perfect. See, they find beauty in decay. They see within mold and other fungi the ability to transform lifeless materials into abundant, albeit somewhat strange, life. These druids believe that life and death are parts of a grand cycle, with one leading to another and then back again. So, with my druid, without going into a ton of backstory about what we're doing in the homebrewed world that
He's a ninja turtle.
BDC is made up, he is a turtle. But there's a lot of stuff going on with life and death on that planet, and the turtle believes that it's a cycle. Like you're supposed to live and then die to feed the earth to do it again, to help grow the next generation, all that fun stuff. So
He's the death domain of druids.
Yeah, he is. Death isn't the end of life, but instead of change of state that sees life shift into a new form, which is what the turtle believes.
Shameless plug. I did an article that's going to be going up probably the next couple of days. Another draconic unknown god of D&D, or forgotten god, not unknown. Null, who ended up being a trilogy. Basically, he's a triune god.
Yeah.
But I won't go into details from there. But what reminds me of it is that he's the same way. He's like, he sees life as a process, and it's not to be tampered with. It's not to be stopped. Although they contradict themselves because one of his aspects is actually a god of undeath and basically negative energy. So he's kind of a split mind on it.
Yeah.
But really strange. Just a side note about the game. I think there may be a strange connection between two of your characters.
Yeah.
Between the turtle and your new character. I really do. I think there's something there that I need to be serious about. I don't think I've been serious enough about the turtle.
Yeah, that the turtle would want to absolutely murder the other character.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with it. It's about their backgrounds and what they're connected to. It's like
you'll find out. I said you'll find out.
It's like this, and as your Panda's characters, Sindiri and Percival Redrick would never have really done anything together if it wasn't for all this Dawn Phoenix.
No, never in Sindiri's life.
They have something in common, but they might end up at odds with each other if there wasn't this big overlapping story going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the College of Spores is probably the way I would go.
College?
Circle. Did I say college?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm still in bards. I'll dig myself out. I'll probably use it with Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Because it makes the most sense.
Swamp Thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing's a good one.
All right.
I think he'd be
I'll do Swamp Thing. I think he would be a druid.
I feel like he'd be kind of a mix of some things. I don't really know. I don't know much about DC, so
it's funny, of course, not as powerful as Swamp Thing, but Man Thing is also caught up in the whole plant life and the natural order, but he is also connected to the Nexus, which is interesting if we're going to see him in all this Marvel. Man Bat.
No, what? Man Bat. What in
put
the
you back
world?
at the kids' table in a minute.
Put you back at the kids' table.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Oh, jeez.
But back to the circle of spores.
Yeah, they use invisible spores around them to do all sorts of things, whether it be damage their opponents. They use them eventually. I think it's at 6th or 8th level. They can use them to. Swamp Thing would probably be part barbarian. You are correct, Taco. But they got the. They can end up infecting things, and you get like these little zombie helpers that are.
Oh, you're talking about my favorite ability of the College of the Circle of Spores.
What,
Dang it, BDC!
The symbiotic entity or whatever.
Yeah, you can. The fungal infestation is what the ability is called.
Yeah.
But you can, if a beast or humanoid that is small or medium dies within 10 feet of you, you can use a reaction to animate it, causing it to stand up immediately with 1 hit point. The creature uses the zombie stat block in the monster manual. It remains animate for 1 hour after each time it collapses and dies.
Isn't it like 1 hour per your wisdom modifier?
No, it's just 1 hour.
Is it just 1 hour?
Yes. Yeah, but you can keep bringing it back.
You could do the feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier.
And so you also then you take a few levels in Bard, and then you have the whole thriller dance going on.
Yeah,
it's a thriller.
Sorry,
but it's a really cool thing. I mean, the zombies aren't terribly useful, but they can be used for certain things. That would be
like carrying stuff, and like what this one in the book is doing, picking mushrooms with its bullywug zombie companion.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. At 10th level, they get the spreading spores. Ability to throw a halo of spores when using the symbiotic entity ability. The spore cloud takes up a 10-foot cube and deals damage whenever a creature moves into the area or starts its turn there. It does pretty good. But let's see. It says this is something else I was reading about them earlier. It says that they would thrive on the front lines using the Shillelagh cantrip. And with their ability to add extra damage from the Halo of Spores each round, reanimate enemies that die near them, and gain a healthy amount of temporary hit points with the symbiotic entity, the Circle of Spores Druid is capable of giving and receiving heavy punishment. Which is very true, because we don't think about them that way, but if you look at the way their abilities stack, not only can they do a decent amount of damage, but they could use these zombies that they're bringing back as natural armor, if you will. Taking hits for them, and they're
taking one hit.
Yeah, so it's one hit. I mean,
that's fair.
It's one hit at 20 to 40 damage that I don't have to take. So
True.
it's fantastic.
Maybe that crit you really don't want to take. That,
I would much rather the DM waste his one critical hit on a zombie.
No. Critical hits do not matter with a spore.
What do you mean?
With a Circle of Spore. At 14th level, if you are a Circle of Spores
you're right.
thing, the fungal spores in your body alter you. You can't be blinded, deafened, frightened, or poisoned, and any critical hit against you counts as a normal hit instead. Yeah. Unless you're incapacitated.
This is true. So yeah, they can just tank through it. So maybe I don't need the barbarian to make Swamp Thing. He's just a 20th level druid.
Oh yeah, Swamp Thing is definitely an art druid.
Now that I'm looking at it, the Circle of Spores is it's that frontline druid.
Yeah, it's the tanky tank druid. And you've also got to remember, because the only thing I don't like about it is that if I remember correctly, they don't get the wild shape ability.
I think their wild shape ability is the Halo Spores.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They can't turn into anything else. And
I don't think it stops them from using it.
Let's see. Circle of Spores.
Yeah.
Druids are able to deal extra damage to choose, blah, 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 using your reaction. This doesn't say, but I already closed the book.
Let's say the symbiotic entity only says that you can expend a use of your wild shape feature.
Okay, sure.
So you can still use the wild shape feature, but to be honest, why would you whenever you can just use your symbiotic entity?
Because I think that's one of the things that we miss when we talk about druids a lot is how useful they are outside of battle. Whether it be to get around a locked door, to get over a wall, to get inside of a house, to scout things out as a ant or a spider, or fly up above everything and look ahead on the trail so we don't get ambushed. And there's so many actual story features and actual adventuring where druids' abilities come in amazingly handy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like having a familiar, but you are the familiar.
Yeah, except it's you.
If I was a druid, right? At what level do they get it? At 18th level.
Yeah.
You can cast your druid spells in your wild shape.
Yeah.
So at that point, I would just be a squirrel for the rest of my life.
The squirrel with your armor on, casting your spells.
Exactly. I am an armored squirrel that knows magic.
The only problem is that shillelagh didn't do as much.
And all of a sudden,
yeah,
everybody in the town is like, "There's a magic squirrel in the forest."
Yeah. Don't go to the forest. There's a squirrel out there that'll mess you up.
Oh yeah, and I also want to bring another thing up.
Yes.
Elf druids at level 18 can live upward towards 5,000 years.
Oh my good God.
Tell me this last night.
For every 10 years that passes, your body ages only 1 year.
But that means when you're 5,000 years old, you look like you're 1,000?
You're 500. You would look 500.
It's an elf.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Ours is a half elf, you said.
But
an elf.
I mean,
half elf, you get like 2,500, like if it's half.
500 years, like, you'd still look like a vacuum sealed steak at the end of it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
I mean, you're done. Like, you seen The Longest Yard, of course. Shut up before I slit your throat and watch the dust come out. That's what I feel like every time I think about elf that's that old.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous.
Like Druid, I realized that like Druids and spellcasters, obviously, as they should, don't get a lot of features as like the fighter or the barbarian or any of the ones that aren't spellcasters.
Yeah.
I think clerics get a decent amount of abilities.
Yeah.
Like a lot more than any of the classes.
You can tell by the number of words used that there's so much more there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Druids, I mean, they get their natural recovery, which is good. You know, let's see, what is it? Some magical energy by sitting in meditation, communing with nature. During a short rest, you can expend a spell slot to recover. The spell slot can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your druid level, and none of the slots can be a 6th level or higher until you use this feature again. Finish long rest. So I'm confused. What do I get? I expend a spell slot. Oh, an expended spell slot to recover. Okay, so I get one of my spell slots back.
Wait, where did you find that?
Oh, sorry, that's the Circle of the Land. That's my bad. That's not even a druid thing. It's it's just for them.
But to be honest, the Circle of the Land is really good.
It is.
Like, you get an additional druid cantrip, which is kind of useful, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
But that natural recovery thing at 20th level can be very useful because you get to restore 10 levels of spells.
True.
Which, if you've spent your 9th level spell slot, oh look, I all of a sudden have it back.
But it says it can't be higher than a 6th level.
Oh, I didn't read that part.
Yeah.
Well, then it's poopy.
Well,
it sucks.
Especially if you're going into a rural setting, rangers and druids are very important in those situations. But even if you're not, I mean, landstride, deals with difficult terrain of any sort. It doesn't say it's in forest or anything.
I say, and you don't take damage from thorns or spies or similar hazards of like plants, non-magical, mind you.
When it comes to plants and plant creatures and beasts, the Circle of the Land has it because not only they have advantage on saves versus magically created plants, like in Tangle.
Yeah.
Okay? And also, when they hit the big one, Nature's Sanctuary, beasts or plants attack, but they have to make a wisdom save.
Yeah, you basically get the effects of the Sanctuary spell, but just for beasts.
And plants.
Yeah.
Taco wants to know if we can turn the druids' good berries into potions.
Good berry potion?
Yes, good berry
potion. Hold up.
Welcome to Good Berry.
Give me just a
moment. The home of the Good Berry potion. Can I take your order? There's my sorry joke of the night.
You see, it's all Taco. I would say that would be a talk to have with a DM.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those flavorful things that the DM could work out.
Yeah,
because it doesn't say that they disappear. Oh wait, no, never mind. They lose their potency if they have not been consumed within 24 hours.
But they would still last for 24 hours. So I could make
I
could make the potions and then
take them with me.
But why make the potions?
Fair enough. They don't last any longer. So why just eat the berry?
I guess.
Or make a special potion that's called super good berry juice that lasts longer.
Okay,
I don't know.
But answer me this. If a druid did this, right, and got all the good berries, even though they had lost their potency, is there a spell that we could use to get it back? Like restoration?
We're casting a spell, probably a higher level spell now, to try to get this good berries back.
But I'm saying we could make a business model out of it.
I don't think it's going to be worth cost effective.
All of a sudden, we're turning the druids into snake oil salesmen.
Yeah, exactly.
So he takes a few levels in Bard, okay?
Yeah.
You don't need levels in Bard to show off and tell people, hey, buy my thing.
But it would explain where you got the ability to get out in front of people and persuade.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And Rogue to be a con man.
I got it right there. Okay, I got that, and one other thing I'm going to try, and this is my hot take of the night.
Okay.
Oh no.
Remember the bunny from Monty Python?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Is it Druid in wild shape?
It's just a wild art Druid gone mad. Yeah.
It was Tim.
It was Tim.
It was Tim the whole time.
He warned them about himself.
All right, maybe I'll do that.
He was a were-rabbit.
I'm gonna write that down.
That's
Hilarious. But he
hilarious.
was a wizard.
Yeah, because when you come an Archdruid, you can use wild shape any number of times you want.
Yeah.
So it very well could have been.
But he was a wizard, though.
I mean, it didn't say he was a wizard.
They called him one. That doesn't mean he was one. But yeah,
I would say people called anything that was casting spells back then either witches or.
I don't think he did anything out of the ordinary for a druid. Even they can blast things. Anything natural, they can mimic, right?
Yeah, Taco said, but isn't turning it into a potion just making it artificially preservative? And making it artificial preservatives.
Well, if you think about it, right?
Can we make good berry jam?
It is not a natural substance.
It
doesn't grow out of the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, where's this at?
How many you grow into your hand?
Where do you see the
Player's
good berries
Handbook
at?
246.
Page 246?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a spell.
Yeah. It just grows in your hand. It doesn't even grow. It appears in your hand.
All right. So what does it say? A creature eats berry to restore 1 hit point and enough nourishment to sustain a creature for 1 day. The berries lose their potency if they've not been eaten. So how many berries do I get?
10, up to 10.
10 hit points.
So I get 10 hit points back.
Well,
this is more for making sure your people survive and have something to eat.
You're right.
Than it is hit points.
You might have to squeeze it into their mouth because they may be dead.
There it is. The Bead of Nourishment.
Yeah.
It's basically a Bead of Nourishment, which is a 5e Xanathar's Guide magic item.
Wondrous item.
It's a common item, so it only costs like 100 gold.
Yeah.
But like it dissolves your tongue and provides as much nourishment as 1 day of rations.
So you don't have to buy rations. You just got the berries, right?
Yeah, you just eat the thing.
But if you make 10 of them, what they're thinking is you can sustain your party for 1 day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a first level spell, so it doesn't really take up that much.
So you don't have to ever carry food or anything like that through dungeons or adventures.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about carrying around rotten food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make a peanut butter and good berry jelly sandwich for everybody for dinner.
I mean, it does just say that it loses their potency.
Yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't mean that it doesn't taste good.
Yeah, true. So, in all honesty, you could probably make some kind of concoction.
Good berry jelly.
Well, yeah, good berry jelly for sure. That's a definite thing that you could make with good berries, but...
See, now I want to see an entire, protein shakes. Yeah.
But
some health shack somewhere that's good berry incorporated.
But okay, here's the DM being a full sport. If they disappear at the end of 24 hours...
No. It says they lose their potency. Not that they disappear.
I wanted that clarification. That's fine. You make all the good berry jam you want. Doesn't matter.
Sweet. It tastes delicious. And it's good for you. Nutritious.
Yeah. I can see the Druid Bard up in front of people, making good berries in front of them. And this is what it comes from, these magical...
berries!
Give one to one person in the audience, and they become full, like, oh, this is awesome. And they sells the jam, which means it does nothing.
Exactly.
Oh, you are insidious.
Exactly. I knew you'd see it my way. I did not know that Druids could do true resurrection.
I didn't know that either.
We had this discussion.
I was really surprised.
That's ridiculous. Okay.
But the best 9th level spell that a Druid gets is Shape Change.
Yes.
Period. You can literally be anything you want to be that's below 20 CR.
My mama told me I could be anything I wanted to be.
So I was an ancient bronze dragon. Like,
yeah.
It's better than polymorph because, well, actually, true polymorph is better because you get to be that thing forever.
I say shape change isn't forever though, is it? I'm looking
up to an hour.
Oh, okay. See, so yeah, that's
true
not.
Polymorph is the jam.
Yeah.
Storm of Vengeance is a really good spell too.
Yes.
So it makes a churning storm cloud forms centered on a point you can see, and it has a range of sight. By the way.
Yeah, as long as you can see it.
As long as you can see the point you want this cloud to be made, it's there.
But fine, see it.
It spreads to a radius of 360 feet. Radius.
Yeah,
we're talking
it's a hurricane.
A 720
Look out
diameter of a storm.
Yeah, they covered a city.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
A small city, which is
lightning
great.
Flashes in the area, thunder booms, and strong winds roar. Each creature under the cloud, no more than 5,000 beneath the 5,000
5,000 people.
No, 5,000 feet beneath it.
Oh, Jesus. So, okay.
When it appears, must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 2d6 thunder damage. So there goes the nearby village.
Yeah. Everybody's grass hut's now on fire.
And they become deaf for 5 minutes. Each round you maintain concentration on the spell, the storm produces additional effects on your turn. Round 2, acidic rain falls from the clouds. Each creature and object under the clouds take 1d6 acid damage. There goes the flesh of the nearby village. And in round 3, you call 6 bolts of lightning from the cloud to strike 6 creatures or objects of your choice beneath the cloud. A given creature or object can't be struck more than once. A struck creature must make a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 10d6 lightning damage on a failed saber, half on a successful. In round 4...
Oh my god, he's dead already. Leave him alone.
Hailstones rain down from the clouds. Each creature under the cloud takes 2d6 bludgeoning damage. And mind you, there's no save to these. So the nearby village is definitely dead. Like, they're not surviving.
Okay, what did they do to piss this tree hugger off? Okay?
They were cutting down too many trees.
I am the Lorax. I speak
for the trees.
They're all dead.
And round 5 through 10.
Oh, come on.
Gusts and freezing rain assail the area under the cloud. The area becomes difficult terrain and is heavily obscured. Each creature there takes 1d6 cold damage. Ranged weapon attacks in the area are impossible. The wind and rain count as a severe distraction for the purposes of maintaining concentration on spells. Finally, gusts of strong wind, ranging from 20 to 50 miles per hour, automatically disperse fog, mist, and similar phenomena in the area, whether mundane or magical.
Yeah, total silence on that one, man. Okay, if I'm going to war, I want the Arc Druid up front.
Exactly. If you've just got to look at an army and just be like, screw those guys.
Oh, they're definitely screwed.
But the spell Animal Shapes. It's an 8th level spell. Has a range of 30 feet. With spell Sniper, it is 60 feet. You can turn others into beasts.
Yeah.
Choose any number of willing creatures that you can see within range. You transform each target into the form of a large or smaller beast with a challenge rating of 4 or lower. Mind you, rhinoceroses are challenge rating 4. And this is where we start story time with Panda for just a second.
Oh no.
Me and my friends back in the day, we were going to war on a nearby country that started said war, mind you. We did not start the war.
Yeah, sure. We believe you.
That's how we saw it, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But we had our army, and we had the support of the nearby Druid people.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like 3 or 4 people that were able to cast animal shapes. And we knew the numbers of the opposing army, and it was way more than ours.
Mm-hmm.
So we had these druids turn most of our army into rhinos.
Nice. It's a big army of rhinos.
Yeah, and we just had them all charge into the army and just start bashing them to pieces.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay, you remember Black Panther?
Yes.
The rhinos.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, it was one of my favorite moments of D&D because it's like, how are we going to beat this army? I know, we're going to turn half of our army into rhinos and just have them charge through the front lines of this army. And the ones that weren't rhinos were riding the rhinos.
Yeehaw.
So it's just, we've got
That's
this
awesome.
rhino rider army. And by the way, we almost lost this fight, but we still won it
Aw.
just by the skin of our fucking teeth.
Very nice.
Okay, how does it work if you're in rhino form
You keep your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
and you get all your hit points back that you had once
Yeah,
you die?
it's just like polymorph.
Okay, that's what my question was. Okay.
So the more I think about this, the more I think that it would be amazing for a major civilization, which is hard to work out theologically or spiritually, however you want to say it. But if you could figure out how to strike it, like maybe the country gives the Druids these forests, like national park kind of forests, like they can't be infringed upon. Here's yours, but when it comes to war, we need you guys with us, because between that storm, the storm of vengeance, and tsunami,
Oh yeah, tsunamis.
Come on.
Oh my
it
God,
creates a wall 300 feet long,
Also has a range for
300
sight
feet
line.
high, and 50 feet thick. The wall lasts for the duration, which is 1 minute, or no,
Up to 6 rounds.
up to 6 rounds. Okay. When the wall appears, each creature within its area makes a strength saving throw. On a failed save, you take 6d10 bludgeoning damage, or half as much on a successful save. And at the start of each of your turns, after the wall appears, the wall, along with any creature in it, okay, any creature in it, no saves, no nothing, moves 50 feet away from you. Any huge or smaller creature inside the wall or whose space the wall enters when it moves must succeed a strength saving throw or take 5d10 bludgeoning damage. A creature can take this damage only once per round, and at the end of the turn, the wall's height is reduced by 50 feet, and the damage creatures take from the spell is down by 1d10. So every round it goes from 6d10 to 5d10 to 4d10 all the way down until it is gone. But if you had enough druids, right, and you've got, let's say, just 3 of them, okay?
No, dude, you just clap the tsunamis together.
No, that's what I'm saying. You've got 3 doing the Storm of Vengeance, right? Just all over the other enemy.
God,
just
why
on
do you
top
need
of them.
3 of them?
And then once they start running at you to get away from the storm, you hit them with 3 walls of tsunamis and blow them back into the storm. And
you got a circle.
But okay, so let's put this in perspective. So every round is 6 seconds in D&D 5e.
Yes,
right?
yes.
6 rounds is 36 seconds. So these tsunamis are around for 36 seconds.
You don't blink.
But hold on, and let's talk about it army-wise, because I think this is the greatest military move that's ever been done, and I've never seen anybody do it.
Why would you need 3 Storms of Vengeance?
Because it depends on how big the enemy's army is, right? Like if it's big enough, I need 3 of them. Plus, they overlap a
Cover your
little
flank.
bit, and then I'm hitting you more than once. But what do we say the average soldier has in hit points? Like 20 max? Because I mean,
Average soldier.
yeah,
It's all according, right? Because if you're talking about like a well-armed army,
sure, yeah, well-armed army.
maybe around like 40 to 50 hit points.
That is a level 5 fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's give him that. 50
So
hit
looks like
points.
an armor class of 15
Okay.
and hit points 22.
Okay.
So
that's the stat block. No, he said that. I said like 40 something.
on the first turn of a tsunami, they're going to take 60-10. Half of that if they save it. I could kill them all.
Dead.
I could kill them even if they make the save. It doesn't matter. They're all dead.
You don't even need the
Now-
you just do the storms of vengeance.
Yeah, and then the Storms of Vengeance are doing the lightning, but the lightning only hits 6 people, right? That's why I need 3 of them, so I can at least hit 18 of the generals out there, you know? They're people.
You save the tsunamis for the Navy.
Yeah. Druids are your artillery of an army.
That's just jacked up. And see, and we've been sleeping on these characters because, and it's sort of like wizards. It's like at the very beginning they're so weak, but we know when they get higher levels they're going to be powerful.
I would say like that's the thing about spellcasters.
Yeah,
Spellcasters
right.
Yeah.
don't really look that appealing until you get to like 16th, 17th level, because 17th level is where you get your first 9th level spell slot.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden everything comes into your mind and you're just like, I can do everything. I am the end of the world.
Yes, yeah, we gotta write this up or do a YouTube video just on this to cover it, or maybe I'll just cut this section out. Who knows? If I did, hello YouTube. But it's insane how well they would do as the artillery of an army, because you could take out their siege machines with the lightning bolts. You could there's just so many options that you could do with just like 6 of them.
Yes.
6 druids, and you could just I mean, you
wipe
need
an
6 20th level druids, which isn't the
17th.
easiest feat.
17th.
Okay. Sorry, 17th level druids. And that's all I need. And
the whole circle, in other words.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And like I said, we just give them their own little national parks out there where nobody ever touches their forests, and we have this agreement to yeah, no, it'd be great. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Protect me from all sides.
Yeah. Like you said, we use Tsunami for the Navy, and we got the Storm of Vengeance for everything.
Animal shapes, just in case we've got to go in.
Yeah. Animal shapes will turn everybody into a rhino.
Yeah, see, it's just you don't realize how much of a military option these guys are until you get to those higher levels.
So
whenever you think about it,
with animal shape, real quick, because I'll go back here and start looking at it. But how many people can I do it to?
Any number of willing creatures.
Any number. Are you serious?
Within 60 feet, mind you.
So what?
30 feet. It's technically 30
So you're
feet.
talking about what? They put you in a 5-foot block, so
they put you right here, right? And you just squeeze as many people around you as you can, as long as you have the ability to do verbal and somatic.
Okay, I understand that, but as a DM, I'm thinking, okay, they put every character in a 5-foot square because that's their space. So 5 foot into 30 feet.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like a 30 feet sphere around you.
How many 5-foot squares would that be?
Let's see. So around your person, there's going to be 8 total. So I mean, you're talking probably under 20.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's
you could probably figure out, if you really wanted to do it, you could probably finagle how to get about 30.
Put them on each other's shoulders or something.
yeah, exactly. Like we could do this in a stairwell, and as long as they're within 30 feet of me, we're fine.
Yeah, I want to put a big Rhino in the stairwell. That's a great idea.
But see, my idea wasn't Rhino, right? Because what does it say here? A large or smaller beast with a challenge rating of 4 or lower. Okay.
Okay.
And when they hit 0, they transform back, correct?
Yes.
And I get all my hit points. Yes. Yes.
Do you get to keep their armor and weapons?
Yeah. Okay.
So they're like. Go ahead.
So what you do is you get the Army Ranger version of whatever, SEAL Team 6 of this army, right? You get about 20 of them, and you turn them into like ants. And you send them to the other side of the battlefield, right? And you put them in like the doorway to the commanders, and then they get stepped on or anything, they're going to turn into themselves and kill everything. They can sneak anywhere.
Well, you send that group to flank.
Yeah,
so
they don't see them.
Yeah,
just to put this in perspective, by the way,
God.
I just counted out a 30-foot sphere's number of 5-foot squares.
Okay.
96.
96?
He's got it in front of him, so I trust him.
Yeah, because that's
Now,
3
mind
layers. Yeah, man. Oh my goodness.
So think about this, right?
Yes.
That's a 30-foot sphere.
Okay.
That's all you have.
But if you have the spell sniper feet,
yeah, you could double it.
It doubles that range.
You're fucking kidding me.
So a 60-foot sphere.
That'd
That'd be well over 150 people.
All right.
That's a feat, so the druid can get it.
Yes.
Okay.
So I could turn, if I had my, again, let's go with my 6 druids, right? So if we got 150 each, that's 900 soldiers that I could turn into tiny assassins and send them in behind you. And you'd never see them coming. And then all you'd have to do is end the spell.
Why would you do ants, though?
Yeah, I just meant something small enough that they didn't see it.
I would make it something that's small and at least has like a fly speed, maybe?
Sure, we could do a gnat. It's fine. I don't care. Anything.
It doesn't matter.
Anything small.
It'd be better in the air. You're right.
Yeah,
I'll say because then you can get a better idea of things. And mind you, these aren't just dumb little gnats that are just buzzing around. These are intelligent gnats that know what the hell they're doing.
See, if you wanted to do a whole Vlad the Impaler strategy of war where you just terrorize your enemies till they go insane.
Oh, dude, turn them into bats.
Bats, locusts, anything like that, and start eating their crops, all their food supplies.
What CR is a dire bat?
I don't know.
Kill one, he's probably going to kill you.
Yeah, then you start killing them, and they start dropping out of the sky as full-grown men, ready to kill you.
Parachute on
That's
those suckers.
3.5.
Yeah, baby. They're paratroopers now.
Oh my god, this is getting way off.
I'm going to sit down and create a druid-led army.
A giant bat is only 1/4, so you wouldn't want to do a giant bat. Well, actually, as long as a giant bat has the same hit points as a soldier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
AC's about the same too.
This is why I love doing this is why we do Cold Brew, guys. Because you sit around and you think about it long enough and you come up with the dumbest things imaginable.
Yep.
Druids as your generals, turning their soldiers into giant bats and locusts to send them across, and then when that fails, we just start storms of vengeance and tsunami walls, and you're dead.
This is terrifying.
This is scaring the hell out of me.
They're absolutely terrifying.
I want an army of druids now.
And like I said,
fighters.
Everything we just went through was if I could just have 6 druids of level 17 or higher.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I only need 6 of them. I don't need an army of them. I need 6.
Mind you, you only get one shot at it.
I'm only going to need 1.
Yeah, true. But still.
Oh, once a day.
Because we already went through what happens if they make all their saving throws. It doesn't matter.
People dropping left and right, man, all around you. Then now I want an intimidation check. See if you got a good gut check there, buddy.
A good fear check. And then on top of that, now after the tsunami wall and the acid rain and you're all soaking wet, then we cast Cone of Cold or We start freezing you out. We make it snow. We use the druids to change the terrain to snow and tundra, and we just make this battle the worst thing ever. It's like Germany trying to attack the Russians. It just doesn't work.
Exactly. Okay. Put that together, and I'd love to be involved in
the name of the video will be Druids are military geniuses. They'll be back here in a minute, I'm sure, but going over what we've already talked about with the Druids, between the wild shape can be useful in a lot of ways story-wise. I think it's a lot more useful than just combat, and I think that's one of the things some people don't think about when they talk about Druids, whether they're good or not. It's half the reason we started doing the classes is because these classes are more than just are they good or are they not. A lot of times you see people kind of crap on Druids and Rangers, but they have much more use than just the battle side of things, whether it's like we talked about earlier, the Druids using their wild shape to get under doors or into places that they usually couldn't, and going up above and stuff like that. Oh, they're back.
Rogue now.
What? Just
Druid rogue.
Just remember that if anybody starts talking crap on Druids now, just mention your Storm of Vengeance tsunami Rhino army.
Yeah. Just imagine an army being like, all right, we're going to go take this forest from these Druids that have been here forever because they're slowing progress down, and they're like, we're going to march on the forest, and the Druids are like, all right. Let's do that.
I'm a head out.
You could try that. But yeah. So you guys have anything else with Druids you would like to mention?
Well, besides the circles we've missed so far?
Yeah. Which ones? Let's see. We have not gone through.
The stars are worth mentioning.
And moon. Stars and moons. What is the main ones we missed?
So tell me about the circle of stars.
And shepherds. All right. Circle of stars. I have it right here. You get a second level. You get a set of spells, of course. You get guiding bolt and guidance. You get a star chart that you have personally put together that you use as a spell focus. I think is what it said.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. You confused me for a sec there, because the Circle of Stars does not get a class. Like, it's not like the Spores where they get the Circle of Spores spell list.
Oh, they don't have a spell list?
No, they get special spells as the star
guidance and guiding bolt. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So with the star map at second level, whenever you take the Circle of Stars, you get this star chart that can be a scroll covered with depictions of constellations, a stone tablet with fine holes drilled through it, a speckled owlbear hide tooled with raised marks. Pretty much whatever you would want it to be.
Moses carrying the tablets around.
And but while holding the map, you get the guidance cantrip, guiding bolt, and by the way, it doesn't count against the number of spells you have prepared. And you can cast guiding bolt without expending a spell slot. You can do so a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, which at level 20 is +6.
Nice.
Which at second level it's like 2.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, that's 2. What? How much damage does the spell do? Like 2d6, right?
I believe so, probably.
Yeah.
We were watching TikToks.
That's why we were late.
You.
I was trying to tell him he's on. He's on. Yeah, I know. He's just dancing to this one song. Yeah, I know he is. Hang on. He's just talking to people.
Hey, Staying Alive is a great song, and you will never stop me from boogieing down to it.
You just listen to it.
So the Circle of Stars is in one of my favorite books. This is the Theros book.
It was in the Theros book?
I do believe.
Tasha's.
Well, it's in Tasha's, but it could.
Yeah, it could have
so
been.
was the Bard of Eloquence.
Let's see.
Yeah.
And it was in Tasha's.
It was probably. Yeah, you're probably right.
No, it's not. I thought it was in this one, but it is not.
How much damage is guiding bolt?
It's in Tasha's, you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes me sad.
46.
They give you, and going back to my world of Asheray, there's a whole set of magic school, if you will, around stars.
Mm-hmm.
And it just reminds me of it because you get starry form also at second level, which you can pick the archer, the chalice, or the dragon. And according to what you pick, you get benefits, a bonus ranged attack.
I'd say the archer does 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier damage. The chalice lets you heal somebody within 30 feet of you with 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier. Or the dragon, whenever you make an intelligence or a wisdom check on a constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on a spell, you can treat a roll of 9 or lower on the d20 as a 10.
Very nice.
Especially those lower levels.
I'm gonna say, like,
okay,
it hurts.
I know it's not. This is one of those not utilistic things, but for the storyline, it's very flavorful. Hitting 6th level, that cosmic omen. This is where your DM is going to have to get creative. So, if you don't want to be creative DMs, you may not want a Circle of Stars guy hanging around.
You're like, please choose anything but that.
He's going to pull that omen out every day, going, "What did I get?
What's it say? Tell me what it says."
It's a random omen, and I think it's. I think the DM rolls or the character rolls.
Roll a die. It doesn't matter. It doesn't say what kind. It just
it's a flip a coin. Even it's
say
one way or the other.
It's evens or odds. It's or
like, what's the news today? Is it bad or is it good?
Evens are wheel, and odd is woe.
The DM knows.
Yeah.
But for whenever you finish a long rest, you gain access to a special reaction based on whether you rolled even or odds, whether you got wheel or woe in that omen. With wheel, whenever a creature you can see within 30 feet of you is about to make an attack, a saving throw, or an ability check, you can use a reaction to roll a d6 and add the number rolled to the total. Or with woe, you can subtract a d6 from a creature that is making an attack, a saving throw, or an ability check.
Nice.
Oh, okay. All right. Somehow I misread that.
Yeah, it's super useful during a lot of things.
So I'm sorry, it is utilistic.
Because you can use that up to a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus again.
Because all I wrote in my list was random omen.
And let's see, at
Omen.
At 6th level,
I'm your detail man.
At 6th level, your proficiency bonus is 3. Oh yeah, by the way, Guiding Bolt does 4d6 damage.
Yeah.
Damn.
So at level 2, you get Guiding Bolt, and you can cast it without expending a spell slot. Mind you, you're casting at 4th level, but that's also, as long as you're hitting 4d6 radiant damage, plus the fact that they glow in the next attack to attack it, gets advantage.
You see that guy
it's like
over
a
there
marker.
hanging out in the corner? Yeah.
You're like, hey,
that spell.
Like, hit this guy. Which one? Hold on a second. Boom.
It's
the
like,
one glowing in the background.
It's a one target fairy fire.
Yeah, there it is.
Does damage.
That's what I was thinking of.
True.
It gets into 10th level in the Twinkling Constellations. It improves the starry forms.
Oh yeah, the 1d8s that the archer and the chalice do turn to 2d8.
Nice.
And whenever you use the dragon, you get a fly speed of 20 and can hover.
Oh, nice.
And also, at the start of each of your turns, while in your starry form, you can change which constellation glimmers on your body. Every turn, you're just like, I want to fly. And then the next turn, you're like, I need to heal that guy.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to really feel sorry that I didn't make Sharda a druid. Circle of Stars. This is fun.
Yeah.
And then at 14th level, we get the Full of Stars ability. While in your starry form, you become partially incorporeal, giving you resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Yeah.
And I want to bring this to your attention. That's all bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Yeah.
Including your magical stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Once again, the tank.
Interesting.
Taking damage.
I'll say, so you take half damage from most melee attacks.
Yeah, almost all.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I might take this for a run.
The Circle of the Moon is interesting to me because the first thing I think of course, is a werewolf or a lycanthrope.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing, which, I mean, realistically, it does kind of lean that way. But, you know, you get the Druid, the Circle of the Moon, or fierce guardians of the wild. Their order gathers under the full moon to share news and trade warnings. They haunt the deepest parts of the wilderness. They might go for weeks on end before crossing paths with another humanoid creature, let alone another Druid. So they tend to, at least the way they write it, they tend to be, you know, hermits that get together under the full moon, kind of shoot the shit, I guess, and then they don't see anybody for a long time.
There is a rite we must do every full moon.
Hermit background.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
sure.
do the hermit background. But they, at second level, they get the combat wild shape. You gain the ability to use wild shape on your turn as a bonus action rather than an action. Additionally, while you're transformed, you can use a bonus action to expend 1 spell slot to regain 1d8 hit points per level of the spell slot expended. So if you get rid of a 4th level spell, you get 48 hit points back, which again is another way to tank with a Druid. There's so many ways. I never thought about them as somebody that would sit on the front lines and take damage until I started reading up on them and really digging through it and going, well, I mean, they could. Like, the thought of the Druid up there with the barbarian just going toe to toe with something is odd, but it's absolutely doable if you really wanted to play it that way.
So wild shape is not like polymorph.
What do you mean?
It is.
Your hit points are the same in your wild form as they are
I thought so.
in humanoid form. So you really need that combat wild shape if you're going to be a wild shape fighter.
Yeah.
Well,
then go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You're doing what I was talking about.
You also get the rights of the circle, or the circle forms that grant the ability to transform into more dangerous animals. Starting at second level, use wild shape to transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as 1. So instead of, what's the actual challenge rating? Let's see, it's
like 1/4.
Yeah, 1/4. So you can do at second level what a regular Druid can't do till 8th.
Yeah, but it can't have a flying or swim speed.
That's fine. I don't need that. I just need to be tougher.
Let's say at 4th level, it can have a swim speed but not a fly.
Yeah. At 6th level, you can transform into a beast with a challenge rating as high as your Druid level divided by 3. So once I'm at
6,
6, I could do one that's 2, and so on and so forth. So by the time I get to 20, we can do what?
6.
6, yeah.
What is the limit? What are the rules on that? What creature you pick? Is it just got to be a beast?
It has to be a beast.
Yeah,
that's the only stipulations at level 20 at least. At 6th level, it can't have a fly speed.
Should have a beast that you have seen, but it has to be a beast you've seen before. Let's see. You can use it twice unless your thing allows you to do it differently, which this one does. See, at 6th level, you get Primal Strike. Starting at 6th level, your attacks in beast form count as magical. So now you can hit things that can only be hit by magic. It also overcomes resistance and immunity.
Yep.
To non-magical attacks and damage. So then all the way up to 10th level, where you can now expend 2 uses of wild shape at the same time to transform into an air elemental, an earth elemental, fire, or water elemental, and just wreck shop.
Slams, baby.
Let's see. What CR is a normal elemental?
Are you looking at
I want to say 4. Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I think they're 4 or 5.
I want to say that,
but they also have some cool abilities you can use.
They do,
as opposed to being a wolf.
That's why they waited till 10th level.
Okay, so a fire elemental is challenge rating 5.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, they're challenge rating 5. So I mean, what level was that? Like 10?
It's half. Third, man.
That's actually better than your wild shape normally.
Oh, damn.
But you also have to use 2 expend.
Yeah, you're right.
Of it.
Yeah.
Which at 10th level you get how many?
I do not know. Let's see. At 10th level, we're doing it.
4 or 5. Isn't it?
Wait, where does it
I think
say?
it's just 2.
Starting at 2nd level, use your action to magic the beast. You can use this feature twice. Yeah, you can only do it twice.
That's stupid.
That's terrible. I thought it went up with your wisdom or your.
That's what I thought too, but apparently
Really?
it doesn't.
I would think it'd be the wisdom modifier or their proficiency bonus.
No, because you can stay in a beast shape for a number of hours equal to half your druid level.
Oh man, you only got 2 uses. Oh, that hurts that a lot. I mean, even with the circle of the moon getting, the elemental, you've used it up. You get it once a day. I guess that's fair enough.
But is it? I mean, barbarians can rage like 8 times a
Yeah,
day.
Well,
But
I
it
think
also
that'd be
only
in-
lasts what? A barbarian's rage only lasts
minute.
a minute,
Or is it 10
as
minutes?
opposed to
It's
I wanna say it's just a
10
minute.
rounds.
barbarian rage. I would
You
like
should
to
know this. We
rage.
studied
Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah, 1 minute.
it. we
Yeah.
got a lot of things in our brains.
Yeah, exactly.
We got druid things in our brains
But
now.
at 14th level, they get the 1,000 forms. You can cast the altar spell at
Alter
will.
spell at will, yeah.
So you assume a different form when you cast a spell. Choose one of the following options. You can do things like aquatic adaptation, change appearance, and natural weapons, and you can do that as many times as you would like.
Yeah, it doesn't do a lot, but it can come in handy in certain situations.
Breathing underwater.
Yeah.
So I think the moon one is okay. I don't think it's as good as some of the other ones we went through.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. I still, flavor wise, I'm definitely still staying with the spores. I love it. I think it could be really cool. But there is the last one we haven't talked about, which is the Circle of the Shepherd.
Yeah,
it's
really
not worth talking about. No,
Well, it's
I'm
okay.
joking.
You got a special connection with Fae and beasts again, so it's pretty interesting.
Well, you keep the balance in the woods, right?
Yeah.
Like I've actually played a Circle of the Shepherd before. Not very long, but I did.
Not very long. Yeah.
Well, the character died pretty fast, so
he died.
Well,
I made a lot of characters back in the day because the DMs I played with were mostly bad.
Mostly bad.
But the whole thing about the Circle of the Shepherd is keeping the balance of the woods. If animals are killing to just kill, you're the guys that stop the hunters from just hunting for sport.
Yeah.
You're the
Looks like the whole story of David, right? Like you protect the ones that need protecting, and you stop the things that need to be done to help the animals. You're a shepherd. That's in the name.
Yeah. Here's a free backstory for anybody with a Circle of the Shepherd. I had a Furbolg Druid Circle of the Shepherd that had a bear companion that he would feed and everything throughout the days. And one day he went on a fucking rampage and just started killing everything in his path. Wasn't eating half of it, wasn't killing what he needed to survive, just killing to kill. So this druid that I built had to kill him.
No.
Yeah. It's
poor guy.
That's interesting.
What's it? The armor. It's like wood. That's what it is.
I don't know. I think it might be stone.
I mean, it could be leather. I mean, leather is natural.
True.
Yeah.
It's just it can't be metal.
Yeah,
Looking at the picture in Tasha.
No, this is Xanathar's.
It's really cute.
Little wolf.
Yeah, it's probably leather armor because, I mean, like you said, it just can't be metal.
Yeah.
I mean, Shepherds gives you Sylvan, and your beasts understand you, and you understand them, which is kind of flavorful. You can talk to beasts that you run into, and doesn't mean they're going to be your friend, but at least you can talk to them.
Friendly beast could relay what it has seen and heard in the past. The ability doesn't grant you friendship, but you do have the ability to talk to the beast and gain the friendship that you would need.
So you can talk to an unfriendly beast. You can find out if they're just, I'm not going to make any deals here. I'm going to kill you all. You know what you're dealing with. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Which usually, whenever you're talking about normal, mundane animals in the woods, they're just doing what they have to do to survive. So having a circle to shepherd could possibly help you in not having to have that fight with a pack of wolves.
True.
Maybe.
Come to an understanding, you see, that's the thing we have to understand. Not every encounter has to be murder hobo time.
Yeah, they don't. It does not. No. Yeah.
But that also, I will say this. So, as much as murder hobos are the downside to most of D&D, they make it easy for the DM to give them levels.
Well, that's why they run rampant, because
I want the XP. I want to level up.
It's easier to deal with than this encounter you had with these people where you talked through things or you had a great role playing session. It's a new day. We got different ways of rewarding different things.
I highly favor the checkpoint system of leveling.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm using now, basically.
Yeah,
it's a lot better than XP, I think, personally,
because it encourages your PCs to not just be murder hobos.
Yeah,
because they're not getting XP. It's based on a certain moment that you guys get through. That's whenever you get the level up.
Okay, and even if you're doing experience points, you as a DM, to encourage this kind of thing, you need to give the same experience points that they talk their way out of the fight.
Oh yeah,
if they role play through it marvelously, they should get the same XP as if they killed it. So you've got to think through this thing a little better.
See, I wish I could remember the guy's name. He's on Twitch, or not Twitch, on TikTok, and that's where I saw the video at least. But he was talking about that. He was talking about, giving XP for combat only is ridiculous. Whether you use a checkpoint system or you're using XP, you've got to give your players XP, because if not, why do wizard schools exist at all? Because if you went to the wizard school and the first day they were like, all right, everybody, go grab a sword. We're going to go kill squirrels in the forest. And they're like, well, I thought we were going to learn magic. Well, to do that, we've got to gain levels, my boy. So let's go. And we got to go kill these squirrels to get the XP. It's like, it just doesn't make any sense that combat is the only way to gain experience.
Or you're teaching a wizard that only the combat spells matter, because that's what's going to get you XP.
Exactly.
And so that's why the wizard only casts Fireball.
Yeah. And why bother role playing if it doesn't matter? If it only matters what I do in combat. We've all played games before, not tabletop games, but any video game.
We have all been the murder hobo.
You're like, oh, I really, really enjoyed doing this thing. But eventually you realize it doesn't matter. So you stop doing it, even though it was part of the game that you really enjoyed. It happened a lot in the Assassin's Creed games. There'd be things that I really enjoyed doing, and then you're like, oh, well, this doesn't matter, so I guess I won't waste my time. So
I think that's why I got so into Skyrim.
Yeah.
Because I would sit there for hours on end at the forges around the world and just be like, hey, give me all of your iron. I'm making iron daggers. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's so many nuances to Dungeons and Dragons, so many different ways to play the game. Whether you want to be a min-maxer or you want to be just a role player, or what was it? Matt Colville called in one of his videos talking about different kind of players. I can't remember how he called it, but it's pretty much the player that just likes to be there. Whether they're not always the most active role player, and they're not always the most active in even combat, but they love being there and they love just enjoying the story and doing the things they get to do. And there's so many different things that, like you said at the beginning, going combat only XP to determine levels is a real short-sighted way to play it. I think you're missing a lot of the fun of the game.
I would say, you're taking a whole part of this game
Mhm.
and throwing it straight out of the window.
Well, at that point, it's not a role playing game anymore. It's a combat simulator.
It's a hack and slash.
Yeah.
And it's up to the DM to spearhead this new concept,
And
if you will.
the hard part is whenever you have a group that has been murder hobos for the whole time they've been playing D&D, right?
Yeah.
It is really hard to try and steer them in a different way.
It is.
Yeah, it is hard. That's why you got to know what kind of players you're playing with, what kind of game they want to play. Because if they don't want to deal with the actual deep role playing of it, right? Doing a political intrigue storyline with them is wasted.
I'll say,
like it's just going to frustrate you. It's going to irritate them. Nobody's going to have fun, and the game's going to fall apart. Eventually, people are going to stop coming, or you're going to want to stop doing it. You've got to know those expectations up front and go from there. Like you said, if they just want to be murder hobos, just make them gladiators in an arena.
Like, in all honesty, I feel like that would be a fun time for everybody in that point.
Sure.
You get to make this arena that has a set amount of people that are in said arena, and you just have them going town to town, becoming the champions of these arena. Yeah. Make it like a Pokemon thing.
As I say, it's like Pokemon becoming.
You just go around beating these arenas, and at the top of this fucking mountain, someplace, there's this grand arena.
Yeah, there are ways to make any kind of game work. It's just a matter of finding that middle ground with you and your players, to where everybody is satisfied. Because, like you said, I think that is a good middle ground, because you could build an entire story, political intrigue, the whole nine, where you can slowly get them interested in what's going on in this country or this realm, and why these things are taking place, with feeding them enough battle and fights to make it interesting for them.
They get like sponsors from like higher ups in the towns, and
they get tattoos with their symbols on them, right?
Well, I wouldn't say tattoos. I would say more of like special outfits that they've got to wear during the fight.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, you could go all the way to people trying to pay them to throw fights for political reasons, and you could really work in some cool storytelling stuff into that. And there's a way to do all this. You just gotta kind of work with everybody. Like for me, one of the hardest things I have a hard time with when I DM is that combat is about the least of my worries. Like it doesn't come to my mind easily. It's like, okay, how do I build this really cool fight? I like building traps. I love dungeons. Oh, geez, I love dungeons and puzzles and all these different things. And so I have to stop and take a step back every now and then and go, okay, I got to put some encounters in here somewhere. They've got to fight something. Like it can't all be this. It's going to get a little mundane, and you're going to wear them out if everything's super heady, you know?
Like I used to play Legend of Zelda and those kinds of games, but my brain just does not like puzzles.
Yeah.
My brain, whenever I get a puzzle in D&D, my brain's just like,
yeah,
different strokes, man.
And the first thing that always comes to my mind is some of the most ridiculous puzzles. And then I usually end up making it, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then I stop and I step back and I go, are they going to be able to solve this without me pretty much handing them the answer? And it's the answer is usually, yeah, they'll probably get it, but it worries me when I have to ask myself that, you know?
I say it's like, I think they'll get it eventually. 3 hours later,
that's what I'm always worried about. Because eventually, even me, I love puzzles and all that stuff. If I'm the player and I don't get it, and we're in there for 45 minutes, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, somebody shoot a fireball in the room, kill us all. Let's end this.
We need to do one of our cold brews just on this concept.
What, dungeon building?
Yeah. Well, dungeon building does. It's on the sign.
Well, it can't be next week, because next week's fighters, and I want to build a monstrosity.
Oh,
no, we're definitely going to go through all the classes first. We're halfway through.
Circle of Shepherds.
Yeah.
They also get the totem spirit at 2nd level. But they get summon a spirit within 60 foot of them.
a bear, a hawk, or a unicorn spirit.
A unicorn. Oh my god.
Let's see. Circle us.
Sorry about all you people that love unicorns. I didn't mean any disparaging there.
He's not trying to disparage unicorns.
Oh, dude! If you love unicorns, go read about unicorns in the D&D Monster Manual. You won't like them after that.
Yeah, they're it's in
Douchebags.
Xanathar's, right? Or Tasha's?
Xanathar's.
Okay.
As a bonus, wait, no. Okay, so as a bonus action, you can magically summon an incorporeal spirit to a point you can see within 60 feet of you.
Yeah.
The spirit creates an aura in 30-foot radius around that point. It counts as neither a creature nor an object, though it has the spectral appearance of the creature it represents. As a bonus action, you can move it 60 feet. It persists for a minute or until you're incapacitated, and you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. The bear spirit grants you and your allies its might and endurance. Each creature of your choice in the aura, when the spirit appears, gains temporary hit points equal to 5 plus your druid level.
Mm-hmm.
In addition, you and your allies gain advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws while in the aura. So your barbarian, advantages don't stack, but he gets that advantage in grappling something even if he's not raging.
Yeah, sure.
The hawk spirit is a consummate hunter, aiding you and your allies with its keen sight. Whenever a creature makes an attack roll against a target in the spirit's aura, you can use your reaction to grant advantage to that attack roll. In addition, you and your allies have advantage on wisdom perception checks while in the aura.
Very nice.
And then the unicorn lends its protection to those nearby. You and your allies gain advantage on all ability checks made to detect creatures in the spirit's aura. In addition, if you cast a spell using a spell slot that restores hit points,
That's weird.
to
That's
any
weird wording.
creature inside or outside the aura, each creature your choice in the aura also regains hit points equal to your druid level.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like, oh, this guy's down bad, let's use Cure Wounds on him. Everybody gets 20 points and you get like an extra 10.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so follow me for a minute. Let's see if you guys agree.
Following.
Okay. Peter Pan's a druid.
What circle?
Circle of the Shepherd.
Fly speed.
Well, we can figure out the fly speed.
That's not hard. There's winged boots. There's a
Yeah.
cape that lets you fly. It's not hard to get a fly
It's
speed in
happy
D&D.
thoughts.
But we could tweak the spirit totem just a little bit and make it Tinkerbell. That's all I'm saying.
So a fairy spirit?
Yes.
True.
You give him a fairy spirit that acts a lot like maybe the hawk, giving everybody ups on their attack rolls when she's around. He doesn't wear, none of the Lost Boys wear metal armor. It's all wood and bone, and Peter Pan wear just
It's because they're all
leaves.
children and can't carry anything metals.
I'm just
Oh.
saying, Peter Pan's a druid. Tell me, I'm waiting.
I mean,
delve out your argument.
I can see it, but I just don't know.
Because even if you go to the spells that a druid can do, hold on, I'm pulling it back up.
He's a warlock of the happy thoughts.
Oh my god!
Oh my Jesus! But you use the spells like guidance. Sure, Shillelagh still. I mean, why not?
Ooh, Shillelagh!
Stuff like that, and then entangle, jump, long strider, speak with animals.
I'd see ranger, actually.
He could be a ranger
because what I see, like,
but
whenever you think about it, right? He never really used magic other than the pixie dust that made him fly. Well, actually, the happy thoughts that made him fly.
He didn't need pixie dust to fly.
Yeah, no, it was normal humans that needed the pixie dust.
Okay.
But I'm assuming that everybody has seen the greatest Peter Pan movie ever made, Hook.
Hook, yeah.
Like, and I don't want to hear any argument on that one. I'm not
No.
talking to. I'm not talking to
taking any
you two. I'm
questions,
talking to
people.
chat. If anybody has objections, I hate you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow, that's strong.
That's just me. It's not the whole Magic Tavern. I still respect you
Yeah,
for
it's
being
just
here.
him.
But
Yeah, don't. It's just him.
but whenever you looked at their surroundings in in Neverland,
Yeah,
I don't know what their actual home area was called,
Neverland.
but it was a lot. Well, I know that the
It's
world
like the
itself
woods.
was Neverland.
Yeah, there's a certain name for everything. I can't remember what it was.
But
it doesn't matter.
it had a lot of traps and a lot of just things that they had built to counteract people from getting in. And
yeah, there were definitely a lot of rogues.
he's
in
a
the Lost
halfling
Boys.
ranger.
Well, he's
A
Cat
halfling.
was the only.
Well, he's got to be small, right? Like he's got to be small. He could just be a human child, but I mean, how do you
20th
gain
level
levels as
human
a
child.
kid?
So I mean, I guess the ranger would work, right? You could make him a hunter and give him like the Colossus Slayer, or the Giant Killer,
Yeah.
and then give him the multi-attack defense because he's used to fighting multiple enemies at once.
Maybe like a ranger rogue.
The whirlwind attack.
Because he was really good at sneaking around, hooking his men too.
It's fair. Because the only other thing I could see right is a bard, because he was always very boastful and
He was the boisterous one.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's a bard too. You see Peter Pan being like a
Bard ranger rogue?
5th level rogue, 5th level ranger, 5th level bard, yeah. 5th level druid, 20th level, but 5 levels in all 4 classes.
He's everywhere.
Let's see, he had bard and druid.
Because he's got the crow, so that's part of his bard.
So if we're gonna go on that tangent,
yeah.
Okay, so first, we'll go with the rogue archetype. What do we go with there?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we've got
the arcane trickster.
We're all the way off.
Okay, the 6th level.
There's no getting this back on track.
Yeah, no, let's just go on. This is a whole tangent that could last forever.
The arcane trickster.
I mean, I could see it.
Yeah, because I mean, him using all the disguises he used to use to get past Hook and them, we could use that as illusions. Yeah, sure. Go with that.
And then let's see, ranger. We go with what, the hunter?
The hunter, yeah, to give him the bonuses in fighting, especially against multiple enemies.
Druid, we give him the circle of the shepherd.
Yes.
Because he was the leader and he did steer all the children.
And then you make him an eloquence bard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it.
Are you taking notes?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
So
good.
Okay, I gotta see this. I need to know what level spellcaster he would actually be.
All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, you guys continue. I'm gonna look at this real fast.
Okay, so back to the circle of the shepherd. Where were we? Oh, the mighty summoner. At 6th level, beast and fae that you conjure are more resilient than normal. Any beast or fae summoned or created by a spell that you cast gains the following benefits. It appears with more hit points than normal, 2 extra hit points per hit die it has. The damage from its natural weapon is considered magical. All that good stuff. 10th level, you get the Guardian Spirit. At 10th level, your Spirit Totem safeguards the beast and fae that you call forth with your magic. When the beast or fae that you summoned or created with the spell ends its turn and your Spirit Totems or that creature gains a number of hit points equal to half your Druid level. So as long as it's within that range at the end of the turn, it gets half your hit points every time.
Half your hit points, or
half your Druid level. Sorry.
Yeah, it'd be 5. Yeah, at that point.
At that point, yeah. But it could do it every turn.
Wow, nice.
So
keep
cool.
it alive.
Yes.
What you're doing.
Yeah. Then at 14th level, you get the Faithful Summons. The spirits you commune with will protect you until you're most defenseless. If you are reduced to 0 hit points or incapacitated against your will, you can immediately gain the benefits of Conjure Animals as if you were using it at a 9th level spell slot. It summons 4 beasts of your choice that are challenge rating 2 or lower. The conjured beasts appear within 20 feet of you, and if they receive no commands from you, they protect you from harm and attack your foes. The spell lasts for 1 hour, requiring no concentration, or until you dismiss it. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again. So if you go to 0, you summon 4 beasts. I mean, a CR of 2 or less, that's a lot of things. Like, we could do, what's the best thing we could do here?
Okay, so
A giant constrictor snake.
Oh, nice.
A giant elk, boar, Allosaurus. I got 4 rhinoceroses surrounding me now.
So Peter Pan's a level 13 spellcaster.
Yes.
Why?
Huh? Why?
Yes, yeah.
So with the multi-class spellcaster, right? If you have 5 levels in Druid and 5 levels in Bard, you're a 10th level spellcaster.
Yes.
But since you have the Ranger, you
Yes.
take half of the levels you have in Ranger, rounded down. So that's 2. Which would give us 12. And then with like archetypes that give you spell casting, like the Eldritch Knight or the Arcane Trickster, you use a third of the levels that you have in that class.
So we get
which
1.
rounded down, so you would get 1.
Okay.
So he's a 13th level spellcaster.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Which the highest level of spells he'd be able to cast is 7th level spells.
Hey, it's not bad.
I'll say it's not horrible.
And Lost Boys are barbarians.
Yes, most
Yeah.
of them,
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of them are rangers.
Rufio would be a fighter. He was a little
for
more.
sure.
He was a little more contained.
Rufio.
He was the pan, you know.
Rufio. Oh, I love that movie so much. No,
I need to go back and watch that movie
Need
again.
to watch part
the
A.
best
been a
part
while.
is Hoffman playing Hook.
Man, he was priceless.
Stop me, Shmee.
Don't you try to stop me, Shmee. Don't even try to stop me. You better get off your lazy ass and stop me, Shmee.
Over here. I'm trying to kill myself.
I had an apostrophe. Epiphany, Shmee.
Oh my God, you kill me.
This is the
Okay,
greatest movie ever.
My question about faithful summons.
Yes.
Is there a number of times tacked to that, or is that just whenever you drop to 0?
It's whenever you drop to 0, and you can only use it once per long rest.
No,
long rest.
it's once per long
I was
rest.
going to say, because if you just every time you're dropping, and sometimes these fights we have, you drop multiple times, you got animals running everywhere.
Could you imagine if
great.
it didn't say that last part? You just off yourself so that you get a bunch of animals.
Oh God!
And you have
now it
the
gets
cleric.
dark.
No. You have the cleric casting 1st level cure wounds on you, so you can get up and do it again.
Why does the druid keep stabbing himself in the face?
You see those animals?
Yeah,
it's because every time he goes down, 4 of them show up.
It's a freaking zoo out here.
He's creating an army of plesiosauruses in the water. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, we can bring him back. It's okay.
So, let's see. Conjure animals. Do the animals disappear after?
Yeah, there's a certain time limit on
there?
all conjure spells.
Let me.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. I got the book right here.
Because they're not like an animal just kind of shows up out of nowhere.
Conjure animals, page 225, by the way.
They last up for 1 hour.
Thank you.
And then they poof and go away.
Oh, okay, so they're not actually worth it.
So you got an hour or a little bit of an hour left if you've beaten the bad guys to have a petting
zoo.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's CR2 or less, I could summon 4 polar bears.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Damn Skippy.
Or saber-tooth tigers. That's fantastic.
Wow. I like it. It's got a lot of flavor to it.
I do. I think there's a lot you could do with it.
So
Okay.
I do want to bring this to light.
Okay.
The biggest thing you can turn into as a circle of the moon is a mammoth.
Oh, sweet
Nice.
Jesus.
Woolly mammoth.
It's the only 6 CR beast that they give you here.
Yeah.
I'm sure we
I
can
don't
find
even see that. Where is it at?
It's in the
The Arctic.
learning
Okay,
beast
there it
shapes.
is.
Yeah.
Because the
Okay.
next biggest one is the Triceratops,
Yeah.
which is a 5.
Which have fun actually seeing a Triceratops.
Yeah.
Unless your world actually has like a dinosaur
Now,
country.
see, that could be one of your bucket list quest kind of things, is to actually come in contact with
Dinosaurs?
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
You've heard about them, and there's a special place somewhere, but you have to search it out. So when you see them, and now you can become one every once in a while. See,
That would be
that's
great.
pretty cool.
But why would you want to be a Triceratops, right?
Dude, they're
horns?
vicious.
Well, yeah, they're vicious, but I want to be something like a raptor. Like
Triceratops used to take down T-Rexes.
so did enough raptors.
Yeah, 8 of them. I can only turn into 1.
Okay, there was also something in Tasha's about some alternate abilities. One of them was a second level wild companion. You know, everybody complains because they expect to get a wild companion.
Yeah.
Because you're a druid. And so they finally stuck that in Tasha's.
Oh yeah, as an action you can expend a use of your wild shape to cast the Find Familiar spell.
Yeah. So you have your own.
Where do you
Witch
see
hand.
that?
It's at the
Tasha's.
very
Oh,
top
there
of
it is.
Tasha's.
Okay, yeah, I found it.
But just to put this in perspective, by the way, the Find Familiar spell lets you create a creature that can be fey or something else. I don't remember what the other types were.
You have to be favorite beast.
See, then I could get Tinkerbell. I don't even need the wild shape ever. I can just summon Tinkerbell. Sorry, I'm back on Peter Pan again.
No, you're right.
Give me 1 second. I want to look at the stipulations
She is the
of
wild
Find
companion.
Familiar.
Yep.
All I can see is
That takes an animal form.
Fairy's not an animal?
No.
No, it's fae. They don't allow a fae. It's all animal.
Well, it just says an animal form you choose.
I'm going to say.
Well, just to be fair, if you're talking like, actually, if you want to get into the semantics about this, right? A pixie. She was a pixie, right? She's not a fairy.
Yes.
Pixie's not a fairy.
No,
They're
there are
both
two different
fae.
creatures in 5e.
No, I'm sorry. They're both fae, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me just.
Okay, while you're looking this up, the DM, as the DM, I would allow fae.
Yeah. I think
CRs.
So I want to put this. I want to say this now. A pixie has the ability to once a day.
Yeah.
Press confusion, dancing lights, detect good and evil, detect thoughts, dispel magic, entangle, fly, phantasmal force, sleep, and that's not it. Polymorph.
Okay, we'd have to talk about that.
And it can do Druidcraft at will.
Why do you have to ruin all my fun?
Huh? It's a 1/4 CR, and it can cast Polymorph.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Small army of fairies or pixies will mess you up.
So here's the thing about this, right? I'm sure that Steps has seen it on TikTok. There's a guy that has already mentioned this many a time. The Conjure Fae spell.
Yeah.
You can conjure 8 pixies.
Yep.
And you have them turn your whole party. Like if there's 4 of you, right? You have 8 pixies. You have them cast 4 of them cast polymorph on you, turn you into T-Rexes, and then the other 4 cast fly on you.
Yep. So now you're 4 flying T-Rexes.
You're ridiculous.
And you eat everything in sight.
Wait a minute, is everything T-Rexes with you?
Yeah.
It's the strongest beast you could turn into.
I know.
There's literally nothing else that is challenge rating 9.
But yeah, we'd have to talk about you having a companion that shows up and polymorphs everything.
But it's only twice a day.
It's once a day.
Oh, it's only twice a day.
Once
Turn
a
you
day.
into a T-Rex.
No, I mean I can summon her twice a day using my wild form.
Yeah, true.
So we can do it twice a day.
Okay. We need to look into this. That's interesting.
I mean, you can't turn into a T-Rex until you're at least level 9. So I mean,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes it better.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, anything else on Druids? We actually talked about Druids for 2.5 hours. Look at us go.
That's because we came up with a bunch of bullshit that we just threw out at everybody.
You just described Cold Brew.
I say that is the entire premise of this show.
Oh man!
5 minutes Druids and 2 hours bullshit. Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We did talk a lot.
No, we got like 30 minutes of Druid abilities.
Druid abilities.
Oh, we got more than that. But that's cool. No, it gave me a new appreciation for Druids. That's for sure.
I'll say it really did make me go and be like, okay, this is actually a viable class now.
Yeah, no, they're absolutely useful. I mean, I think they're great. I think they're good flavor wise. I think if you really wanted to surprise a new party or even an old party with a new character, and you're like, I'm playing a druid, and everybody's like, what? And then you show up with a tanky build of a druid, and they're like, why are you up front?
Well, you see, you got to think about it this way, right? Druids, right? Let me go get back to.
We're on the DM side. I couldn't do this now because you guys are ready for it, but pulling an NPC that they expect to be a pushover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead it's
your ass.
But okay, so whenever you think about wizards and sorcerers, right?
Yeah.
The one thing that they have in common, they can't wear armor. Period. Druids can wear light and medium armor.
You're right, yeah.
And carry shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can use clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, maces, masons,
people with maces,
and quarterstaffs, scimitars, sickles, and slings and spears.
Yeah, you're
See, what's weird to me is why can they use metal weapons but not metal armor?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I would say that I feel like they just didn't have. They felt like they didn't have to say it.
They didn't want it on their body, but maybe they'll carry it. You know,
maybe. Which, just to be fair, think about it with like a druid of the land, right?
Yeah.
If you've got a mountain druid, why wouldn't he use like raw material?
Yeah. Why not use
part
like
of the mountain.
A stone axe or something?
Well, no, I'm talking about like raw iron ore.
Oh. No,
like he hasn't worked it at all. It's natural still.
But he's not he's not a forger, you know. He doesn't
need to be. It'd be basically the same premise as cold iron.
Oh, now we're getting into that.
I say, all right.
What? I know it's just it's like you said armor, and then it's like it's metal, and then it's like, oh, now it's cold iron. Okay, and I know what that is.
I'm not saying that it's exactly like cold iron, because cold iron is actually a special magical thing.
Oh yeah.
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 It has special effects against like Fae and special kinds of creatures.
Oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's literally iron that was worked without flame.
That's a discussion with your DM.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like a druid that took like an iron ore deposit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just took chunks of it and made it into armor.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you. That would be more believable to me than him having a well-honed sword, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see using an axe made of like crude actual iron ore. Yeah. But anything else on druids?
I'm spent out on druids. I can't think of anything else.
Tanky
Yeah.
spellcasters. That's all I'm
Yeah,
getting out of this
say.
class.
And great war generals.
Yeah. And they get a D8 hit die. This is bullshit.
Yeah. Because they're good. That's rude. All right, guys.
It is
I
rude.
appreciate you guys stopping in, checking out the stream. It was a fun time. We got to talk some bards, a little bit of magic there at the end.
Yeah.
We will be back maybe sooner in the week than normal. Stay tuned to our Facebook. You can find all our social media links in the chat right now. Or you can go to our website, which is themagictavern.org, and all the social links will be in the top right of the page. But if we're not back earlier, we will be back tomorrow morning doing the Magic Tavern podcast at 10 o'clock. And then, of course, next Thursday, we'll be doing some more arena, playing around with that. Maybe we'll do some drafts and some sealed stuff. But yeah, you guys want to say anything before we say goodbye?
Thanks for stopping by and booyah.
Booyah! But yeah, all right, guys. Appreciate it. You guys have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right, man. Bye.